what I understand.
Work session to order. First of all, our regular business and public hearing agenda, any items on there anyone wants to discuss?
In the public hearing section, under the two first reads, a lot of times we don't know exactly what to do with the draft ordinances for you guys. And this one, the New Jerusalem one sort of comes up in an odd way to us. It had a recommendation with a restriction that went with it from the planning department, then a denial from planning commission. So we fixed up one that was consistent with the planning departments, and we're adding to that a denial so that you guys have, by the time you get around the second read, you'll have your actions in front of you in both directions.
The only question I had on one of the charter pieces,
Yes.
and I was just curious what city had elected one of its council members to be city clerk. I was just curious what the story was, because I saw it as it was written that you can't nominate city
That
council.
didn't originate, that's old language. That didn't originate with us.
Oh no, I was just curious if you knew like they did it for a reason, because they probably did it in some city. I was just curious if you knew.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know the circumstances.
And
I
just,
would-
oh, go ahead.
On the charter, you know, we went from 6 to 5, and one of them, the one that dropped out was the 4 members of council for a call of a meeting. And the reason is we were increasing the number of council members from the committee recommendation, which put 7 and then put 4 as increase the number to call the meeting, but without the addition, it didn't make any sense to add to the number of council members for the call of a meeting. So there are just 5 charter amendments that have been advertised.
And just a note on the consent agenda. Once again, we'll only put things on there that is usually an annual thing, like the contract, the intergovernmental agreement. We do that every year. So we have a contract with the county for collection of taxes and fees. And just like the mobile stage use, that's something that you guys do as a matter of course. So when you get the agendas on Thursday, if there are consent items that you have a problem with, let me know. We just try to put stuff on there that is pretty much things that, no new ground, basically.
I'm gonna,
It's a definition of consent.
I'm gonna ask for postponement on number 11, consideration action approval of municipal court fine schedule. I didn't know anything about this until I saw it on the thing, and we didn't have lunch the other day, so we didn't get a chance to discuss it. But I'd like to see a comparison with the other courts and the county, where we are as, as compared to the the county and Loganville, Lawrenceville, and Grayson. Well, Grayson doesn't have a court, but Loganville and Lawrenceville as far as the fines and where we stand with them in comparison.
That's why
because I see we're going like 116. We haven't done it in 8 years, and it goes from $116 to $125. I'm kind of going, that's not even inflation.
We relied on the judge and Jennifer. I mean, we spent several hours with them. Jennifer serves in 1 or 2 other courts, I believe, and we wanted to make sure we were more competitive. But we'll get that for you.
Let's do that. That way we know for sure. Everybody on the council knows for sure, and then.
I also have a lot of questions actually on those fines.
Well,
Okay.
let's
For another time,
let's
yeah.
wait till
Okay.
we get all the information we need, and we'll go from there. Okay. So I'll when that comes up, I'll just ask for a motion to table or to table. Postpone till the second meeting in April. Give them enough time.
Are you gonna do that, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on the agenda to discuss? If not, we'll go ahead to the work session. Any correspondence to review?
No, sir.
Sir, do you have anything to report?
The,
Do we have a exec session, by the way?
I think we do, yes.
Okay.
I just wanted to report, y'all know that House Bill 204, which affects stormwater fee, it cleared the House of Representatives. It has been referred to the, I believe it's the Finance Committee of the Senate, and didn't know if there was anything anybody wanted us to do with regard to the committee members. I have a list of those committee members if you want to know who they are. It does include two, David Schaefer and Renee Underman are both members of the Finance Committee. And I will report that there is substantial opposition to it. A lot of people are dependent on those fees. They are communicating that they're doing their part to oppose them along with the GMA. So,
Does it look like it will die in the Senate tomorrow?
I haven't heard that.
It may not die, Bobby, but from the people I've talked to, the fees will be able to remain on the list. And there will just be wording in there that there cannot be a,
Levy.
yes, due to failure to pay those bills, so.
So how do they get paid?
Fees. What's that?
How do they get paid?
If they stay on the bill, then they would get paid through,
At some point in time, if they go to sell the house, they gotta be brought up.
Yeah, it's just the fact that they can't be foreclosed or liened against. That's, you know, I haven't seen any language.
They'd have to get a mechanics lien, you know, for like the garbage, you know, that's, they could get a mechanics lien for that because they're not paid, but it wouldn't be on the tax rolls,
we did.
well, I understand.
If we can talk about this for a minute, we did talk about this at the Gwinnett Municipal meeting. There was a bit of discussion on it, and a couple of things that came out of that were that one concern that was raised was if it's no longer on the property tax bill, and even if they put a separate sheet in the property tax bill, so that you could say you're saving money by putting in the same envelope, they still have to include a second envelope. The other part is people are gonna open that bill, know their mortgage company's paying their taxes, and they're not gonna look at the rest of it. So it's, you know, the chances of them actually paying a second bill, no one's gonna understand that the mortgage company's not paying that. The other thing was that if they put in a separate bill, would the mortgage company even consider that a bill they would pay out of the escrow or not if it was separate? So that was another big concern. The other issues were that, I lost my train of thought. Some people didn't think that there was too much issue with the Senate Gwinnett delegation, and where they stood on things, but the problem is it takes more than the Gwinnett delegation to be for or against something to get it, you know, with the state legislature. So, getting to senators that are on the Finance Committee, you know, making those phone calls, trying to get other counties and cities to contact their delegation, was kind of what the
IGR was requested to go down, the members of the IGR committee and mayors were requested to go down there tomorrow morning if anybody wants to go. I mean, it's not required by any means. It was specifically for the IGR members and the mayors and city managers, but it's just to meet a delegation. I have I have to see my heart specialist in the morning, so I can't go. So Barbara, I don't know whether you were going or
No, I
not.
wasn't
It was
going.
my understanding we committed to 3 people being down there tomorrow.
See, I
We said
can't,
we'd
I
send
don't
3
remember
people.
that.
No, we didn't commit to 3 people.
Okay,
I don't know that.
right.
There was no commitment of people. They didn't even ask us to commit people, did they? At that meeting, that would have been the only time I heard about it. Yeah, no.
I wasn't planning to.
You want to play it? You represent us.
I'll be glad to go if you want me.
No, I don't know, if they said that, I'd like to know who did, because I don't think.
I'll check with Randy, because I don't really remember committing to people either.
I would have gone if I didn't have to get this test.
Okay, so right now, we don't have any representation down there at all that we think, other than being notified right now that we maybe can go. So I'm just making sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because, yeah, there's no Snellville people going,
Okay.
unless anybody here wants to go.
I can't this short notice.
Okay.
I could go, I mean, if y'all want somebody to be there, I could find 2 friends and go.
Well, not-
Just in
yeah,
terms
if we-
of number of people.
That's
They
okay.
have two
We
friends.
have communicated, and the only thing that I wasn't sure of is if you wanted us to communicate to Mr. Schaefer and Ms. Underman, opposition to it. And I wouldn't just do that on my own, it would just, if y'all want me to, I'll be
I
glad
think we
to.
ought to get something on
I'll
that.
be glad to go tomorrow.
What would that look like, Dave?
I don't think it's imperative that every city have somebody. I think it's just,
It didn't make it sound that way while I was there, but, I mean, but certainly no reason why anybody who wants to go couldn't go, but it wasn't,
well, it's just the issue of the late
it
notice.
wasn't like, you know, we really need, it wasn't a rally of people to go down there or anything
Right.
like that. It really wasn't.
I could just hire them.
And besides that, they know in Snellville, they know that it's our representative that's putting it on the thing. They know where, you know, they know where our representative stands. They know we can stand there and talk to her blue in the face. We're not changing nothing, you know, with that or our senator probably, so.
Oh, I know the other thing I was gonna say about it, is the interesting thing is that Bill 204, although it's being touted as save your homes, you don't want your home foreclosed on because of the trash fee being assessed or leaned against you, that this bill does not change that. There's a separate code section in the state law under the environmental provisions that allow a house to be levied, leaned against, whatever, for garbage collection. So this bill's being touted as save your house from being assessed for garbage fees. Well, it won't fix that. It's not proposing to change that part of the law. So that part of the media stuff was just, I think, the splash to get more
What about stormwater?
homeowners.
Because that would almost come under,
Stormwater's a different deal. It's just the garbage.
But the mathematics of, you know,
Filing a
the
lien
cost
on
of
that.
delivering the service to people that pay will go up because of the losses that are created by the failure to collect against those who don't. So it's a real negative when it comes to the folks who do pay their bills regardless, you know. All of those people who pay, it's gonna affect you negatively because the loss rates will definitely go. I mean, it's just statistical. When they've taken the garbage off of the tax bill, it has driven up the losses from the failure to be able to collect efficiently.
Norcross also went from 96% collection down to 73 or something like that.
yeah, took a
And
dive.
it's mostly lawyers. I mean, what you end up doing is paying lawyers to do the collection. The house gets sold anyway eventually. I mean, by judgment lien or whatever, it's just a more complicated process to get there, which somebody has to pay for, which is usually the people who, it's just like credit cards.
Right.
Good people have to pay the high rate.
It's also been touted too that, you know, that homes have been levied or foreclosed on, but no one's found any proof or evidence of that happening. And it was asked to provide the evidence and nothing has been provided at this point.
Barbara mentioned there's a separate ordinance about if trash collection. Can you find that ordinance?
Okay.
It's under state law, yeah.
I'll find it.
And then
It's under the environmental, somebody knew that,
The guy from Peachtree
Corners. He's the guy that knows, the city manager from Peachtree Corners has just been like
He was on top of it.
absolutely engaged in this, so. If you have any real questions or concerns, call him.
So is there like a statement or something the city's doing, or like the municipal Snellville elected officials or something?
I don't think
Like,
there's
is that the
any.
result or no?
Yeah, I don't think there's any
So what you
official
would send to
statements.
Renee and David would just be a statement, the city of Snellville, officials in the city of Snellville, wearing,
I wouldn't send it to them. My preference is to call, I know them
Okay.
both.
Okay.
And have easy conversations with them. I just explain those things that we just talked about. And I know they've heard it. I'd be able to give you a read on what they're thinking. I
certainly
think.
won't hurt, I don't think.
I'll be glad.
Especially
I think
when we're out there
what we
tomorrow.
heard at that meeting, that Renee Unterman is solidly opposed to it, and I don't think they mentioned David Schaefer. They felt the PK would probably go along with it because he works closely with Brett on things across
So a little
the
prick,
aisle, across the two houses.
like quid pro quo going on there with Brett and PK.
It's
I
been
don't
going
know,
on.
but I can.
It sure was in the
I would
house.
bet.
Senator Martin too.
In politics?
Find out.
Really?
He hadn't said that to me.
And it's
We'll
a
give you a
it's
course.
what I was.
Really?
That's
That
what we were
happens?
told at that meeting, that's not a conversation that I had with PK. So that's not, I'm not quoting that, I'm just saying that's what was said at that meeting. Anything else?
No, sir.
Residency ordinance for committees and commissions under discussion items. That was,
That was me. Do we have a revision? Somehow it got missed that Parks and Rec would have one person not, what was sent out, so that,
Okay, this is update. That's update.
can we trust this one?
I think so. He's pretty old.
We know the guy who did it.
That'll do it.
Anybody have any hard time?
Mm-mm.
So this is identical to what we did, except for one change.
One change on the page.
Rec board that allows for one member to.
anybody have any questions on it? If not, we'll go on to ongoing projects. Mr. Sampson? Mr. Sampson?
Okay, the first item, we do have a need for an executive session there. I can tell you that the design review is continuing, and
Let me interrupt. I meant to do this earlier. I'd like to have an exec session, a specially called exec session Thursday evening at 6:30. Is that a problem for anybody?
Thursday, 6:30.
In this room?
Is that the 16th?
Yes. As long as it's not Friday.
It's not Friday.
I won't, I'll commit tomorrow, I gotta make a couple phone calls.
It's the day before.
Okay,
That's
well,
the Gwinnett Chamber at Summit Chase, that Gwinnett Chamber that they're holding at Summit Chase, I don't know if y'all want to.
what time is that? That's 5:30 to 7?
6. 6 is what I have on my calendar, I'm not sure. 6:30. You could.
Choices were Thursday or Friday.
Thursday.
We could do it 6.
couldn't be here.
I can
No,
do
he said
6.
Thursday or Friday, the 2 nights he was available.
No Friday.
Um,
St. Patrick's Day.
I got rehearsal to do.
Well, what we can do is this, we can
Thursday.
call and change it to 7 probably. And have the work session, or have the exec session here at 7.
If was everybody planning on going? Anybody planning on going to the
Who's
chamber thing?
planning on going to that?
It's just the business after hours, the Gwinnett Chamber is having it, they're having it in
Oh.
Summit Chase, that Dawn had asked, for your guys' support and stuff.
And it starts at what time?
I've got 6, but I don't know that for sure.
Mine shows 5
It's
to
usually
7.
5:30.
Yeah, I think it was 5 to 7. I
Okay.
thought if it's 5 to 7, it's not a problem.
No, we can just go with
But, so anyway, we'll have it then, there's 5 of us, and possibly 6. Thursday night at 6:30 in this room then, okay? And it'll be, we'll immediately go into exec session, there'll be no decisions made or anything like that, it's just discussion items.
Good deal. Second item, the joint city and county, we do have a meeting set for February 27th with county officials
March.
to work on the development of
March?
that IGA.
March.
March 27th.
I was gonna say, how'd it go?
27th, yes.
I like when meetings are retro.
The time travel meetings.
I do,
in February.
I do like that a lot.
In the PR marketing area, I think working on the city map, we've worked out any conflicts that we might have with stat on that. And also the new town center video pieces should be wrapped up pretty quickly. We have all the dialogue, and it's just a matter of, I guess, with getting with Steve and getting everything on film, so. That would be,
Videotaping is the 15th?
Yes. Yeah, 10 o'clock in the morning. Sorry. I'm on a different page.
That's Wednesday, right?
in regard to town hall meetings, I know we've delayed, we really don't have a good topic, but in meeting with
That's why our
Jeremy,
date was open.
Jeremy Brand, I asked him about the potential for a virtual Q&A, almost like an open mic through I don't know exactly how it would work, but I thought that that might be something that more people could join in on. It's something that he's looking into. But I just, instead of a town hall in a physical setting, do something over the
Probably do
web.
like a go-to-meeting.
Well, it's it's something that we might be able to do when we have an update on the town center, when we have enough of an update on the town center. I thought that might be something that more people could be a part of. So he's checking on that. The UDO, the editing of the diagnostic report is underway. Jason, when's the meeting set up with?
Wednesday.
Okay. Caleb will be back to meet with staff, and then the following meeting will be with mayor and council. We'll make sure we get the information to you in plenty of time so you can have questions. A lot of this meeting this week is going to be pretty technical. We're going to have Rich Ettinger here for stormwater. We're going to have a good engineering review, so we make sure the regulations are the best for our future planning needs. Charter Review Committee, we're taking the first step tonight. The March 27th will be the second reading and adoption. Everything's been advertised properly. Roundabout construction, good news there. Property negotiations are back on in every instance. And so there is, the DDR folks have an attorney, an actual attorney. I think Chuck is familiar with, and probably Tony too, with Mr. Ruffin. He's asked for a little time to review all the documents. And I've got a call with DDR, I think on Wednesday morning. And so we all may be involved with Mr. Ruffin, apparently.
We closed all the other 3 this last week. First closing in a nail salon that I've ever done.
You didn't stay long, did you?
Take your socks off.
None of that. But I was glad to be there. We needed a translator.
waxing, too.
Actually make it happen. So
Waxing.
It was a fascinating
See him getting
opportunity.
waxed.
But, so, you know, I really think that, I put April 1 in there for a decision. I hope that we've got a good idea in the next week or 10 days where we are with.
Did you get into the house?
Yes, we are getting into the house. We sure are. I'm going to escort the appraiser myself.
Take your camera. I want to see what the inside of this place looks
Oh,
like.
definitely. Oak Road Park, good progress. The trail's complete. All the equipment is on order. Good coordination with the contractor, the rec department. So it's starting to look a little better down there. 78 and 124. We talked a little bit earlier. You can see, property is being cleared that DOT has acquired. We got the okay for signage from GDOT, both for to support the businesses that will be impacted, as well as all the detour signage. There's an update meeting this coming Thursday with DOT officials, and I'll bring more specifics back from that. Planned let date has not changed. Snellville Youth Commission, everything's status quo, moving forward on
I have
finding the part-time.
Two names that I want to go forward with. I don't know, application piece. Do you want me to get resumes? What's the next step?
I'll get you the applications.
Okay.
When's your next meeting?
It was last Saturday.
Okay.
So I had the chance to present it to my seniors, and I have two really strong applicants, so.
Good. And that may have been a question for everybody, as far as, you guys want
Our next-
resumes or anything?
Oh,
And I mean, we can do the
No, I
interview for the advisory. My advisors can be in on the screen
unless,
and make a
unless you
recommendation
feel
if
it's
you want.
necessary. I mean, it's your baby. I mean,
Second
I
half.
have complete faith in
Okay.
your selection as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
You're the one that's
let's,
working with them, you're the one that's gotta be.
Guilty.
yeah, well, either one would be awesome, I think. So, yeah, throw me the apps and I'll get the girls to do that, and then at the next advisory meeting, we'll go ahead and do the screening and we'll make a recommendation to council, if that's all right. Good.
Great. Business retention and attraction, I don't know if anybody has recommended anybody for the
I
advisory.
didn't hear from anybody, so I'll be making that decision this week.
Well, at the last meeting, we,
I asked people to let me know by Friday if they had any recommendations.
yeah, and if you already had a list started, we were gonna float that list. Do we have any list at all?
I have a couple names in my head, but I don't have a list to make, but I didn't get any recommendations from anybody.
Okay.
I will have a list by,
So you're planning on when?
I'll have a list by Friday.
Okay.
The budget process will, is going to address body and security camera needs. Budget meetings with myself and you guys are set for April 24th through the 28th. I'm going to start meeting with department heads next week, this week, next week, and the week after. So we'll have that information to you through the budget process. HVAC needs. Melissa and everybody have gone above and beyond meeting with folks, trying to get information out there. And we have 3 entities now who are reviewing the information, and the conversation is going to continue. And I'll have a solid update for you on the 27th. But there's a lot for them to look at. And I think that, I think we'll end up with whoever the contractor is, we're gonna be much better off than where we have been in the past. The Arts Commission, I really don't have an update for you on that. I'm not sure how we proceed in that direction.
Any
I'm
suggestions?
open to,
Any
I've never heard back from
suggestions?
Kathy Morris, I'll check with her this week. Place to start.
okay. We've got to start with some interested parties and.
Yeah. I'll make some calls this week, besides.
Okay. That's all I have there.
Does anybody have anything else they want to add to the discussion items, stuff, see? If not. We're going forward.
And one litigation matter, I think Butch has real estate stuff.
During the work session of the mayor and city council of Snellville, Georgia, Mayor Witz announced that certain matters should be discussed in closed session of the meeting and asked council to advise the city with respect to closing the meeting.